Hey guys, Danny over here with cellphonies.com, and I'm doing something quite out of the ordinary today, which is basically visiting a friend up in North Texas near the town of, is it Savannah? Little Elm? Okay, but there's another little town that's, is it Savannah? All right, so y'all look it up on the map. It's Savannah. It's a little town. But Frisco, Little Elm, this area is just booming. And not only is it booming, but, here in this place of business, so is business. It's actually booming. This man has taken, over 1,000 visitors. In one day, he had over 8,000 visitors to his website where he decants fragrances. So tell us about decanting. What exactly is decanting?
We give everybody an opportunity to sample or try fragrances that otherwise they would have to drive to their mall or boutique, go to France to try the fragrances. And so also they're not spending money driving. And so it's a service that we saw that there was a need for, and it grew out of kind of a hobby and it turned into slightly a passion. But yes, here we are.
Certainly niche. So it's an opportunity for people to sample perfumes or colognes or eau de toilette, right? At a price that's a little bit more convenient because you're not getting the whole thing. You get a chance to sample it, try it on, and see if it works for you, right? So we have a couple of samples here that we're going to be talking about. These are full perfume bottles that you're seeing pictures of right now as we talk about them. And we're going to go kind of one by one and just kind of talk about a couple of quirks of the top 7 or 8 different ones that we've been talking about. One of them here, I see Bois d'Argent by Christian Dior Paris. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Well, Bois d'Argent is considered by many to be in the top 5, if not top 3 of the Christian Dior Privé collection. You really get some soft nuances, some woodsy notes. Many have compared it to the smell of money.
Wait a minute, to the smell of money? Hold on just a second. Give me a dollar bill. Give me a dollar bill. I want to see if this is true. Hold on. Let's see what we've got here. That's a $20 bill. Does it smell better than a $1 bill, by the way? Hold on. Okay, I can see. Okay, all right. There's kind of that paper smell with just a kind of hint of kind of a minty, dry, crispy type flavor. Okay, very good. So let me see what this. You're a little sweeter, but I can see the money smell here. Very interesting. Okay, so what else do we have here? What's this one right here?
So we have Musk Ravageur. This is the newer version.
Isn't that the Maurice Rossel?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I was going to say Maurice Ravel, and I was going to start dancing bolero. But anyways, tell me a little bit more about this one.
So we have Frederic Malle, which is a boutique specialty.
I'm opening it, by the way. Go for it.
Fragrance house that he has teamed with the world famous Noses. A nose is a name for a fragrance perfumer, or perfume mayor. Perfumaire, if I pronounced that correctly. And so he teamed with some of the best perfumers in the entire world and came out with a variety of different fragrance products, and that is considered one of the top men's fragrances. Very polarizing. Some people.
It really is. It's kind of almost too sweet, but I see that warmth that follows it. Kind of like a rosy. I say rosy, not nutty necessarily, but rosy. Almost a little bit of spice, kind of like a chai tea. Pretty much is the way I'd describe it.
I get a little bit of a Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille almost, which there's kind of a
woodsy tone to it.
Cinnamony, vanilla-y esque-ness to the Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. But once you actually spray that, it begins to develop differently.
Does it become warmer or more woodsy? It kind of loses the sweetness maybe a little bit?
I would say it might soften up a little bit. But yeah, I actually haven't worn that very many times just because it's not considered to be office safe.
Oh, okay, because it kind of stays with you. It's a little too strong. When you walk through, people are going to get distracted, stop their work.
And so
I have an idea.
With over 450 fragrances, we try as many as we can, but you can only try so many fragrances in one day.
Absolutely. So sometimes all of a sudden you find yourself with something just different that just pops out of nowhere and reminds you of something that's way more expensive. So if you were to develop or say recommend a type of fragrance for somebody that's just trying to get started, doesn't quite have the budget for it, but wants something that has presence to it, what would you recommend?
So all of the major fragrance reviewers have time and time again recommended Bentley Intense for men, saying that it is near, if not niche quality. And it's compared to a niche fragrance called, I believe it's Amber Narguilé. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I might be incorrect on that, but that goes for like $200 to $300 a bottle.
And you know what? It's got some presence to it. When I opened the bottle and I just started getting near it, I could actually smell it already. So it's pretty neat. So Bentley for Men Intense. Interesting. And yes, we're only talking about men's fragrances right now. Not that you don't carry some fine women's fragrances as well. As you go through, say you want to go out for Sunday brunch or something. What kind of perfume would you recommend?
So, Le Artisan Perfumers is considered by many to be the first niche fragrance house. And we have a fragrance from them called Tea for Two. It is highly ranked.
Is it this one right here?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Let me see.
All of the reviewers, and many say it has a calming, casual effect compared to Gucci Pour Homme too.
It's kind of sweet. It's just a tiny bit minty, kind of leafy. It does. I see now why it's called Tea for Two.
And we do have Gucci Pour Homme 2.
Which is a more expensive version of that, or?
Correct.
Boy, this place is just impressive. Just look at the video showing right now. I mean, this is just amazing. All these fragrances. And to be able to have a niche, how can I say this? To be able to have a nose to be able to describe all this, a mind to remember how everything smells is just fantastic. I see one right here, Maison François Coul Dijon Paris. It's an ode. Would that be wood?
So that is a Gaiac wood, which is the bacteria-infested rotted wood.
Wait a minute, did you say bacteria-infested rotted wood?
Yeah, it's actually a science in parts of Asia. They take...
I gotta smell this. Okay.
The bacteria infect the wood after it's rotted and decomposed. They then distill it and extract the oils out and then make
I can definitely see why this would actually last a good while. Is this one of the longest lasting, or is this one that just... how's the reach of this one? I mean, you're gonna smell it 20 feet away, and...
It was recently ranked as #1 by a fragrance YouTube reviewer. Most projecting perfume in the world.
And very nice. This is really nice.
Gucci.
It's kind of sweet, kind of woodsy. Very nice. Filosicos. What do we have about Filosicos here? Interesting. I like the bottle. It's kind of circly and it's round. I've got some trees in there. A head of a cow on a stick. Well, come on, you got to tell me a little bit more about this one right here. What's the story behind this?
So that particular...
And by the way, I just want to say thank you for inviting me. I mean, this is your home, so there is some background noise that I say, hey, I'm sorry about that, but we keep on the conversation. Okay, that's very sweet.
So this is borderline indie/niche. Many have described it as the best fig-based fragrance. Others have said the Armani fig fragrance is better, but definitely I get that this is a very long-lasting, high-end, very good quality.
It almost feels like it could be unisex, right? Because it's kind of in the middle there. It's not too sweet, not too woodsy, not too, But another thing is, as I'm smelling it, I'm almost tasting it a little bit.
So, Fragrantica and Base Notes are two of the top fragrance reviewing sites. They're kind of Wikipedia for perfume.
For fragrances.
They rank that way up there in the top of the fig
So what does it cost? What does a bottle like this cost out in retail?
200 to low 300s, depending upon where you buy that.
So $200 to $300. So how much does it cost when you decant it? Like a 1 ml, 5 ml, 10 ml?
So we have wholesale agreements with very large perfume distributors. And so because of that relationship, we're able to acquire the fragrances at a much lower cost. And because
Tell me you pass that on to the customers.
Of course, we pass that on to the customers, and we do price matching. So, you could see prices anywhere between, I'm just throwing out, not necessarily for this, but on average, $5 to $15, I would say.
For 1 ml?
Between 3 to 5.
Okay,
so
between 3 to 5.
That's pretty much the window of probably 80% of our fragrances.
Okay, all right.
So you could get to try the $200 fragrance for under $20,
which is actually not bad.
If you consider the gas that you would have to
pay to go get it and everything, and you're paying for the perm that lady has in that expensive boutique and her lunch, Starbucks, and everything. Goodness gracious, you were talking to me about a really quirky fragrance that has a really interesting smell to it. This funny round bottle right here. Tell me about this.
Yes.
What is it called?
So Byredo is kind of a niche fragrance, and many have described the smell as a rotting fruit, like a bowl of fruit that's rotting, and I definitely get that. I don't know about you.
You know what? I'm really tasting this one, like an aftertaste. It's that. There's a taste to it, not just a smell to it, and I didn't even spray it. So this I would take is pretty strong projecting. You don't want to two, 3 sprays and go to your boss and ask for a raise. All right, two last ones that really caught my eyes. Terra Dermez, isn't it one of the woodsy ones that you described the other day?
Yeah, I believe that Fragrantica and a few other sites listed that as the top 10 best men's fragrances of all time.
Oh, I love the cap. You just twist it and it goes down. You twist it clockwise and it goes down. Twist it counterclockwise, it goes up. When you twist it down, it almost seems like, hey, where's the cap, dude? You're cheating me out here. This is neat. And it does have that woodsy tone to it. You're right.
So the name Terra Dermez, I believe that is translated to earth.
Earth, okay. So.
It's described as an earthy vetiver, as opposed to a clean vetiver.
So what's the difference between an earthy vetiver and a clean vetiver? Earthy would be kind of gritty, a little bit, a little bit more dirt. Oh, there you go.
Like clay.
Okay.
Clay and earth.
Wise guy.
Like a potting soil.
Okay, all right.
Whereas like a clean would be more, I don't want to say
smooth,
the word sterile.
Okay.
But more exact to the vetiver and not extenuating any additional extra side notes.
So I'm going to throw you a curveball. Now this isn't rehearsed. We haven't rehearsed any of this. This is really just. I got witnesses right here. Tell me that. Really, literally witnesses. No rehearsal whatsoever. Okay, here we go. I remember when I was a kid, I went to wood shop. All right, and we were like burning that wood, as it's going through and it's spinning a lot, and all of a sudden you could smell that burnt. But it was very fragrant. It was almost appealing to me. I liked it. Is there anything you have in this room that smells kind of like burnt wood?
So I hope this meets that requirement, but we have one that is described as one of the best releases from the House of Dior. It is Dior Homme Parfum. It was initially...
Because I have all levels of perfume. Christian Dior, they have very affordable perfumes that start at, $40, $60 up to... This bottle here is?
Approximately 100, 125.
Okay, it's not too wild out there. This is the one that kind of gives you that smell?
Initially a European release, and it was slowly... I don't believe you can actually buy that in any major...
Okay, I get it. So a little sweeter, but I do definitely get that kind of burnt smell.
So if you were to go to Macy's, Sears, Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, you probably couldn't find that there.
Right. This is really nice. Well, listen, I really, really appreciate your time to really go through this and give us some of the quirks. I mean, a lot of times you just see these bottles and you walk, and I feel here, if you think you feel mesmerized when you go to the store, I feel totally lost in here because there's just so many choices that as I'm looking through them, I'm thinking any one of these could really satisfy what I like to do, or what I like to smell rather. So, we have the kids trying to walk in. At any rate, and one of the kids probably just got killed. My apologies. But anyways, I really appreciate you, taking us through, sitting us down. It's been a good solid 2 hours of talking about perfumes. What are your thoughts? How do you feel?
I can't smell it anymore.
You can't smell it anymore?
So many different fragrances.
In that, what was your favorite? Would you say that really something that you could actually wear and say, you know what, I like this. I really like it.
There's several that smells like sugar, burnt sugar. There's several that smells like flowers and just extracts from flowers.
Kind of rose it.
Then there's fruit, with it all mixed up. It's.
I remember that rotten fruit one. You really like that one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Very
It
good.
like your finger go right through the apricot.
Absolutely. What was your favorite? Would you say? What kind
I
of
would
smell?
say the Bentley.
Oh, the Bentley was, and I noticed that when
I smell like more manly on that one.
manly.
Manly.
He's a manly Bentley guy. Goodness gracious. Well, he's higher. He's a high roller though. He can afford it. Very good. So listen, Tim. Oh, you have one more for me. Is this the close here? Tell me about it. Come on.
So this is a cousin
Okay.
for T for two.
Uh-huh.
It's Gucci Poron 2.
Okay.
Some have said it's a slightly lighter version.
And it's the blue one because there's several colors, several varieties. This is the blue one.
Yes. So some have described it as having less longevity.
And that's Perfume 2 versus the number 1. So there's two different fragrances that
So
are.
number 1 has been discontinued.
Okay. Oh, okay. So 2 is just the next version.
Correct. And it's more boozy, similar to Dior own Parfum. And if you were to marry that with Bentley and they were to have a baby, that might be
Sounds very nice.
Gucci Poron 1 or just Gucci Poron.
Very good. Quickly here, rapid fire. All right, I'm 18 years old and I'm about to head to college in the morning. It's nice, fresh, crispy morning, very cool outside. We're talking, autumn. What's my fragrance? Quick.
So it's really easy. We've got Versace Mana Fresh.
Okay.
The top sellers right now, YSL's Y.
Yves Saint Laurent. Okay.
I sell some of my favorite.
Is that one? All right. Okay. I thought it said sausage. I must be hungry. Sauvage.
So this is the new Dior Sauvage that just came out. I believe it was last year.
And that's spoken by the true savant here. This man knows everything about fragrances.
The face of that
I can see why
was
he's doing this.
I don't know those words.
none other than the actor from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is that right?
He was the face for that particular fragrance. And so Prada L'Homme, this has been getting all the hype. We've got Iris mixed with Dior Sauvage.
Oh man, I tell you.
And
So that's the morning one.
yes.
All right. Rapid fire. I'm an after. Okay, we're gonna go out to eat with the wife. It's a nice, warm afternoon. You want something that it's kind of muggy outside. You want something that's not too warm and heavy. What do you have? Something light, something that's good for that. That won't overpower the food. We don't need something that lasts 3 hours because we're not gonna be able to taste the filet mignon
So as far as
at Huffbrow. Okay, I'm sorry. I gave it away.
time and time again, every major fragrance reviewer will tell you for entry level, Bleu de Chanel is always top of their list for people who are getting into fragrances. And this is a new release.
Let me tell you, pause for a second here. That Bleu de Chanel is very famous, very, very, very hot seller at duty free at DFW Airport. Oh my God! They told me that stuff just flies out the shelf.
It's cocoa. There's CC on top.
I'm talking about people from everywhere come over here just to buy that.
And this is a new release from Versace. This is Dylan Blue. It is going to be of a similar vein to Dior Sauvage and L'Homme and
Kind of a warm tone, but not
the
overpowering.
Bleu de Chanel. Yes.
I love that. Yes.
People
Yes,
say
sir.
it's a people pleaser. So
Interesting. So somebody in customer service, working at Nordstrom or something, would probably want to wear something like a blue Chanel.
very easy to please without being offensive. Very non-polarizing.
Very good. Very good. Well,
I
listen.
don't want to say the word generic because that
Yeah.
could be viewed
No,
as a negative.
I understand. I understand. Well, listen, I want to thank you for the opportunity to sit here, to give me all this time to be able to review these fragrances, talk about them, the nuances. I think it's really amazing. And I'll bring the interview to a close right now, but I want to thank you very much. And where can people find you?
We're at TheDecantBoutique.com. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Google.com.
They're trying to get on the Washington Post, but it'll take a little while. Go ahead. What else?
And yes, if you just Google us, we're there.
Fantastic.
Decanter.com.
Decanter? Is it, what is it again?
Decanter.com.
Is it decanter.com? Oh, you can
Decant
find.
Boutique.
Oh, okay. You can.
But yes, if
the Decant Boutique. But if you go decanter.com, you could still arrive at the same website.
well, it's actually DecantBoutique.com.
Okay, decant. I don't want to. I
But
don't want to.
if you Google
Right.
Decant, it will. We are registered with Google, so you'll see us pop up there.
I hear you're one of the top 10 in the country here in the United States. So let's move you up to number 3, number 2, and maybe eventually number 1. I'll tell you one thing: the customer service is what really impressed me. So that's what drew me out here to check it out and to get to talk to you. So I appreciate you accepting the invitation, Tim.
Yes.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.